Hello and welcome to another Football History Boys draft, kind of. Today we are looking at one of the best leagues in world football, the Championship. A stunning division, one of the most competitive divisions in football. One that's very close to your heart.
Yeah, well, I've had a Cardiff season ticket since 2008. I've been going since sort of early 2000s. The majority, all but 2 seasons, have been in the Championship. We spent a heck of a long time there.
You have.
A heck of a long time there.
Yeah, you become quite an expert, I feel.
Promoted twice, a couple of times come close to relegation, and then a lot of just survival, of doing a couple of playoffs, a couple of mid-tables. In doing so, 46 games a year, 23 home games a year, you come very au fait with some of those Championship greats.
That's a very fancy word there.
Yeah, some amazing plays of the years. And you're right, and it can get mocked a little bit, the Championship at times, but it is without doubt the best second tier in world football, as second tiers go.
Easily.
Because it's one of the best tiers or leagues in football. Competitiveness-wise, the fact that it's 46 games is incredibly intense. When they say sort of Saturday, Tuesday, that Championship adaptation for clubs that get relegated or players that come and join, it is incredibly difficult.
And they haven't got the same squad sizes as the
squad size there. Obviously, the budget is very different, and therefore, you get a whole range of quality players from, say, the newly relegated or the sides that have got a lot of money and are seeking to go up, and those who are just come out from League One or are really struggling to stay in the Championship. There's a whole heap of great players, and every sinsingle club and every fan watching this of a Championship club will understand how great some of these players were when we talk about them. So we're not going to draft them because I think I'd win a draft. Probably.
Well, I don't have the knowledge like you for this. So right,
going to combine our 11s.
Yes.
So we'll come up with a consensus 11 then, I suppose.
Yeah, it'll be more you, and I'll just try and agree. Right, okay. So I'm going to give you some players.
Yeah.
We'll start with the goalkeeper then.
Yeah.
Right. Here's my shortlist that I've drawn up. Okay. Right. I've got David Marshall, Paddy Kenny, Kasper Schmeichel, Giulio Speroni, and Tom Heaton.
Nice.
5 great keepers. Keepers that have all played up in the Premier League as well.
Yeah.
Kasper Schmeichel, of course, going on to Leicester, winning the league with Leicester, playing one of Denmark's greatest keepers ever. Not quite his dad's level.
Yeah.
Speroni, good, long enough time in the Premier League at times.
Yeah.
Remember when he first came in though, he was a bit of a joke. He was rubbish.
Yeah,
he had long hair. He was just really awful goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But he managed to turn it around. Tom Heaton, of course, got his Man United roots, isn't he, as well? Go on then.
This is hard because there's been some class goalkeepers. I suppose you could have John Ruddy as well in there.
I was thinking him.
Yeah. Paddy Kenny. So he is Mr. Neil Warnock's sort of lieutenant that it would always go with him everywhere he went, would always be the first on the phone. That Warnock would give a shout.
He was on FIFA Street, wasn't he, Paddy Kenny?
I think he was, yeah. QPR and various. Great player at his time. Tom Heaton and Dave Marshall were both together at Cardiff City. Heaton's obviously gone on really to have a better career than Marshall in terms of time in the Premier League, and a very good goalkeeper. He was our cup goalkeeper for many years, but everyone loved both Heaton and Marshall. A man who is incredibly close to my heart, and he's the first name in my Cardiff City team sheet in terms of who would the goalkeeper be for me in the time I've been watching the football club is David Marshall. Not just for Cardiff City, he's spent time elsewhere too in the Championship, but really his main years were at Cardiff, and he was amazing.
So who you putting in?
I think out of all of them, so Kasper Schmeichel is obviously the best goalkeeper, but he's gone on and he's had better times in the Premier League. Tom Heaton, good, but not his best years were in the Championship. But I'm going sort of pure Championship. Their best years were in the Championship.
Marshall, is it?
It's David Marshall. Okay. It's not even the Cardiff bias on it. He's in.
All right. Let's go on to the left back. Okay, full back. So we got Ian Hart.
Yeah.
Formerly of Leeds, of course. George Friend, Chris Gunter. Chris Gunter's in there. Welsh boy. Kieran Trippier. Graham Alexander, penalty specialist. Graham Alexander.
Really, so it's obviously 2 spots, right back, left back. I think a couple of these players definitely got a shout. So Trippier's another one who now you look at, we've just had the European Championships. He was playing in
Burnley,
the European Championship. Burnley and Barnsley. and was quality. He was really, really good player, really good Championship player. Played, I think, well over 100 games in the Championship, 170 games, something like that. So spent a good chunk of time in the Championship. Really talented player. So too is obviously Chris Gunter, a man that's really close to Welsh hearts in particular, isn't he?
Over 100 appearances for Wales.
Yeah, when you think of 2016 and all of the quality players that were in that Wales squad in the Euros, Chris Gunter's one of the key men there, isn't he? In terms of you wouldn't want to be without him. Yeah, chin up. And he was brilliant for Reading for a long period of time. I think in terms of right back, you've got to get in.
Sessegnon?
Sessegnon, good player, Ryan Sessegnon. I think you've got to put Graham Alexander in at right back though, because he's played 1,000 games in his career.
Cheapers.
1,000 games. He's the second English
goal
man.
record, isn't he, as well?
Yeah, really good. He's a penalty specialist, and he said.
Yeah.
But he was okay from all sorts of sets pieces. He had a long throw on him. Burnley legend.
Essential to a Championship fullback.
Absolutely essential. 1,000 games. He's only the second Englishman to ever do it. After I think it's like Tony Ford, something like that, did the first one to do 1,000 league appearances. So he is in at right back for us, definitely. Left back is hard here. Between Ian Hart and George Friend. George Friend was...
What's about Ian Hart is I think he's more known for being a Premier League left back for Leeds.
Well, I wonder that.
In their golden era. One of their golden eras in the turn of the millennium. I
think he played a bit of time in Spain as well. I think he went abroad and did a bit for Spain. Reading and Bournemouth were the Championship clubs for him. Clint Hill as well. He's a good defender. I think we put George Friend in because Doncaster and Middlesbrough was where he was at.
Yeah, I thought Middlesbrough. Yeah. A
long time there. Sort of nearly 300 games in the 2010s. Very much 2010s player. Right. And still going, and I think it's at Birmingham now, possibly. So I think I would put him. George Friend is in at left back for us.
So George Friend and Alexander in. Okay, right. Centre back options. Right, there's a little bit of a Cardiff theme at the start here. So we've got Sol Bamba, Mark Hudson.
Yeah.
Then we've got Wes Morgan, Clint Hill, Richie Keogh, and Ben Mee.
Yeah, you could have Matthew Connolly in there as well. He played a little bit of time for Cardiff. David Ayala.
Ben Turner in there.
Yeah. Danny Ayala, who spent time at...
he's Liverpool youth player, he was.
Yeah, he's Forest and Borough. He was good. James Chester as well. I think
Ashley Williams.
Yes, yeah. Swansea, great, but again, made it at the Premier League.
So does that wipe out Wes Morgan?
I wonder.
Really good, though.
Yeah, so Wes Morgan was quality. I've got his stats here. I wrote them down because I think people would question the Wes Morgan one because he obviously won the league with Leicester City.
Well, he had quite a lot of team of the seasons, wasn't he?
Yeah, but what is so stark about Wes Morgan is that he was in a heck of a lot of team of the seasons. So played for Forest and for obviously for Leicester. He won promotion 13-14 and then went to win the league, the Premier League in 2016. Incredible. But was in the team of the season in 10-11, 12-13 and 13-14. And he was quality. When we talk about someone who was just so Championship too, the way he's built, the way he played, sort of no nonsense.
Yeah.
I'm happy to stick Wes Morgan in at centre back.
Phil Jagielka?
Jagielka, another good shout, but again had a decent Premier League career off the back of it, didn't he? Career. Clint Hill, I think, has got a good shout. Richard Keogh's got a good shout. But I think someone who's played not just for Cardiff, Dunk. I think it's Sol Bamba because he was loved by everywhere he's gone. He is so likeable as a player. And he has done well everywhere he's gone. He's played not just for Cardiff, but obviously for Leeds. He spent a little bit of time too. Leicester, where he started out. Team of the season again, a couple of times. Promoted with Cardiff. Another Warnock trusted left. I think Warnock, he's better Van Dijk, wasn't he? Remember that famous quote? He's better than Van Dijk.
He's got a few famous quotes, isn't he?
Yeah. And he is, he's a great man. He's been battling cancer as well. He's a great guy. He's in at centre back for us.
Right. Okay. So we got Wes Morgan and Sol Bamba. Right. Centre mid options. Here we go. Right. Peter Whittingham, Tom Kearney, Jason Kumas, Joe Ledley, Ruben Neves, Gary O'Neill, Grant Ledbetter, Johnny Howson, Andy King. Very good option. Nice lot of Welsh players in there too.
There are, and genuinely all for good reason. They're all genuinely, legitimately worthy of a place.
Houlihan?
Houlihan's a good player. Yeah, Houlihan for mainly for Norwich, he would be best known. Howson, he was always a nightmare to play against at times. Grant Ledbetter spent a long time at Middlesbrough. Ruben Neves. Now, a lot of people would say the best player to ever play in the Championship is Ruben Neves.
That season.
One season now. And for me, that rules out. You got to acknowledge it. It was incredible, and he scored some amazing goals. He should never have been playing in the Championship.
So this isn't the best team to ever play in the Championship. This is the best
all-time championship team. You know, the pure championship team.
This isn't the best championship team. This isn't the best championship team. It's the best championship team.
Yeah, you know, just that essence of what is the championship. So this man
Peter Whittingham's in, isn't he?
Is absolutely there, and no one would deny. You know, you search like I did doing some of this. Some of the best championship players of all time. You remember some of the best championship players of all time, and obviously I saw Whittingham play nearly all his career at Cardiff City. Was an incredible footballer. He was a wide midfielder at times. He was a central midfielder. He was
Villa, wasn't he, as a youth?
Yeah,
Villa
youth.
I remember him playing for Villa.
Signed him at the old stadium, came at Ninian Park, and then came over with us when we got the new stadium, and was just everything about Cardiff City in the 2010s was sensational. Was a free kick taker that genuinely, and I mean this, when you got a free kick on the edge of the area, you thought it was like a penalty. It was like he scored so many goals.
Incredible.
So many free kicks. One famous one against Leicester City to get to the playoff final. That we lost that year to Blackpool. He was just amazing, and everyone respected him. Whatever club, even Swansea fans respected Whittingham. Very, very sadly died something tragic. You know, like 37 a few years ago after an accident, and that is, you know, such a shame, because he was a guy who definitely had things to contribute to Cardiff City or to other football clubs. Cardiff and Blackburn is where he spent most of his time, and no one would question, after sort of 400 odd appearances in the Championship, that he deserves a place in that 11.
Okay, who's going to be joining him though?
Joining him, I think this is really difficult, because there's a whole load of players that we talked about there who could be there. Andy King, quality player. Gary O'Neill, huge career, now is you know, a decent manager as well, making a good go of it in management. Ledley and Kumas, people who played obviously Premier League 2 but were good. For me, I think Tom Kearney.
What I find with Tom Kearney is he was number 10, doesn't he, for Fulham?
Yes.
And they always go down.
Yeah.
They come back up.
Yeah.
And he's always like
he's still there.
He's just there. He never really plays.
Yeah.
In the Premier League.
But in the Championship,
but they go down.
He's so important.
And he's the main man.
Yeah.
And he gets some promoted every year, and he goes back up. He's still club captain, I think, isn't he?
Yeah.
He barely plays.
He's so creative. And he's so good in the Championship. I think Kearney's... Fulham are one of the best sides in certainly the recent years in the Championship. I think he's got to get in.
Steve Sidwell?
Yeah, although, you know, did have a go at the Premier League, didn't he, as well?
That Reading era when they...
Yeah, points total. You know, the all-time points total.
Think about it a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got those who are centre mid. Right, wide mids. There's a few here. I don't think are really wide mids. Right, Whittingham, he used to play that. Okay. Tarat. I think if you ask them on Twitter, best Championship players, you know, it's a vibes, isn't it? Yeah. Tarat, you know, he's the skill merchant. Right, then we got Bellamy. He's more of a striker.
Cardiff, he was wide though. When he came down to us, he played wide.
Ross McCormack.
Yeah.
Pablo Hernandez. Albert Adoma and Matt Phillips.
Could have Matt Ritchie, I suppose, as well.
I was thinking about Matt Ritchie, yeah.
Yeah, Bournemouth spent a long time there. Quality. Couple of really good players.
Dwight Gale.
Wilf Zaha, actually.
Wilf Zaha had a few years in the Championship, didn't he?
Yeah, Tom Ince. Tom Ince is not getting in. He's one of my most disliked players of all time. But this is really difficult. So Tarat, you would argue, is, again, one of the best seasons in the Championship, like Neves, of all time. Under Neil Warnock. Warnock speaks of him incredibly highly. I think you could argue put him in. He's just not pure Championship enough for me, though.
I think he is. Quality. He didn't do anything in the Premier League, did he?
No, he didn't, but he only played about 60 Championship games in his career.
But he made such an impact, yeah.
Okay, I think I can live with him going in. I can live with him going in. I think his season was amazing. He played Cardiff and he scored an absolute screamer. Jay Bothroyd's going to scream in the same game. That was an amazing game of football. And everything about that QPR team, I suppose, was Championship because of Neil Warnock, because of they had hard men, they had your Clint Hills, people like that, Paddy Kenny's. And then you had this guy who was insanely talented. And it is the best Championship season individually of all time, other than maybe Neves, but obviously stats-wise, Tarat is better. I'll give you his numbers now. So he's just over 2 seasons. 63 games, 22 goals, which is a decent return for a winger in the Championship. Promotion 2011, Player of the Year 2010, 2011, Team of the Season 2010, 2011. Short but sweet, but 19 league goals in that season. He was incredible. He was amazing. I will seed, even though he spent a really short time there.
Getting him in.
All right, Al Tarat.
Go on then.
I think then we're between two, really. I think in terms of longevity, so Pablo Hernandez, Swansea City and Leeds, fantastic footballer, really talented.
Was he more Swansea in the Prem though, wasn't
he? Yeah. I think so. Longevity, we'd be looking at someone like Matt Phillips or Albert Adoma. Adoma's still going. Played for a whole host of Championship clubs. Yeah. Sort of 5 or 6, maybe even 7 Championship clubs. Cardiff as well. But I think Ross McCormack, in terms of pure winger quality, played a heck of a lot of games. As well. Yeah, heck of a lot of games. Here we go. I'll give you the stats on Roscoe. Got his stats here. So Cardiff City, Leeds, Fulham, Villa, Forest. Played right across the Championship, really. All very classic Championship clubs in some ways when you look at them.
Yeah.
Nearly 100 goals, 99 goals in the 2010s. 284 appearances. He is someone who was in the team of the season a couple of times. Not
a striker?
No, he was wide. He was definitely wide for a lot of these clubs. So certainly for Cardiff, when we played, it was an amazing side, really. How we didn't get promoted of Chopper, Bothroyd, McCormack, and Chris Burke as a front four, is an amazing side under Dave Jones. He did play centrally as well, but I think we can stick him out wide because he spent a lot of his time wide cutting in.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of strikers that we're going to deal with.
This is going to be hard to find two of these. So wide mids then, we got Tarat and McCormack.
Yeah.
You doing right with your Cardiff City players here?
Yeah, but Cardiff City, like I said, since 2003, we've spent 2 years outside of the Championship.
Right, here we go then. Strikers, we got Mitrovic, Billy Sharp, Andrew Johnson, Jay Bothroyd, Deeney, Jamie Vardy, Timu Pukki, Jordan Rhodes, Kevin Phillips, Patrick Bamford, and what's that coming over the hill?
Michael Chopra.
It's Michael Chopra. Right.
You could have Matty Vidra as well.
Yeah,
a good one.
He's good. He's a player there.
Chris Woods.
This is hard. I personally would have Vardy and Rhodes. Who would you go for then?
I think these are all legitimate shouts.
I think Rhodes is a pure Championship
He is
player.
pure Championship. He is pure Championship.
And he's got an amazing record, hasn't he, in Championship?
Yeah, but has he got as good a record? So his Championship record is over 100 goals in the Championship. Played all across them. So Blackburn, Middlesbrough, Norwich, Sheffield Wednesday, and amongst that, he's been linked to so many clubs as well. If you were a Championship club, you were linked to Jordan Rhodes at some point. Deeney, obviously, he's got that moment for Watford.
Yeah.
Against Leicester. You've got
Andrew Johnson had some good years, didn't he? But he had some good years in the Prem as well, didn't he?
Yeah. I think
scoring all the penalties, doing the Berg celebration, wasn't it?
So for me, someone who's got to be in because he's probably the best Championship goal scorer of all time. He owns the Championship record, and I believe he broke that record again.
Oh, did he?
Mitrovic.
Oh, okay, let's get him in then.
Alexander Mitrovic's got to be in. He was terrifying. He's a cheat code in the Championship. Every time Fulham were down, as you mentioned earlier, up and down, yo-yo side for a couple of years. He'd struggle in the Premier League. He'd come down and he'd break the Championship record. It was something insane. 35 goals along those lines in 40 games in the season they got promoted. Every team who played him, he scored against. He was amazing. And he was someone who you didn't think would be that at the start of his career. Very petulant. Remember, he was the first at Newcastle. Lots of red cards.
Struggled, didn't he?
Lost his head a bit. But he is pure Championship because of his build. The ball sticks to him, but he scores goals for fun. Then I think we're between Rhodes, and I think Billy Sharp's got a good shout at being there.
Billy Sharp
spent years and years and years in the Championship for Sheffield United.
He is a very pure Championship
he's at
player,
Hull now.
Still playing, is he?
Yeah, he's also spent some time at LA Galaxy, unbelievably, as well. But Sheffield United for the whole... since 2015, he was at Leeds before that. He spent some time at Doncaster, Reading, Forest, Southampton.
Let's get him in then.
I think let's go Billy Sharp.
No Dave Kitson or Kevin Doyle?
I think
Reading boys?
Yeah, that Reading side was good. I think maybe we're slightly removed from it now.
Nathan Ellington.
And obviously Reading spent a little bit of time,
Jimmy Bullard and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did a good side, Wigan.
Who's our defender? Deseo.
Yeah.
Ariane Deseo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But then again, they touched that. I suppose
but they weren't there long, were they?
Pure Championship. I remember them in the Premier League in that era, isn't it? So I suppose they're affecting that way. And I'm sure people will disagree. And I want to hear your thoughts. But I think we'll go Sharp and Mitrovic because that's a good lethal combo.
So, The final team, and who's the manager? Neil Warnock?
I think it's got to be Warnock.
Okay, right.
It's got to be Neil Warnock, the record holder.
The team is David Marshall in goal. Then we got George Friend and Graham Alexander.
Yeah.
Then Sol Bamba and Wes Morgan, with Whittingham and Kearney in the centre mid. Then Tarat and McCormack on the wings, and then Mitrovic and Sharp.
That's proper pure Championship. I want to hear your thoughts. Let's not get angry about this, people. Let's talk about it.
You can always sense it's coming. That's why.
Because everyone's passionate about certain players, and there's some that you not debate with, like Peter Whittingham and probably Mitrovic. But there are others who you absolutely can legitimately argue. So do let us know. We're excited for the Championship to be back. Maybe you'll need to come along to a Cardiff City game this year. Maybe get you in. You did a few last year.
I went to 2 last season, and you know what? I really enjoyed it. It was a lovely day out.
Yeah.
So I would like to go to some more. So if anyone got any tickets, send them our way. Right, before we go though, of course, this is an English league, in the English Football League, and behind us is the English 1966 World Cup top. And this was kindly given to us by the sponsor for today's video, which is 3 Retro. You can find this shirt and loads more, both club and country shirts for you to buy from incredible eras of football history. So please go on to the website in the description below and use the code 3retro10 for 10% off. Happy days.
Lovely.
Happy with that, team?
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to the Championship coming back now after that.
Good stuff. There we go. Right, so we'll see you again for the next one very soon.